2, 3 after that.
Let us proceed with the first song.
Good morning. Happy Friday, everybody. It is Friday, March 1st, 2024. We did it. We're in March now. February is such a short month. And I think renters everywhere lament when February comes because it means they got to pay rent sooner. I don't know. February is such a short month, but I also felt like it was a very long month this year. But it's also because it was a leap year. It is currently 19 degrees here in the greater Portland area. A little chilly. Let's see, is it warmed up at all? It's 22 degrees now. Dang, we're having a heat wave. Honestly, I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss the cold weather. I'm going to miss when it hurts to go outside. Because when I go to Texas, I doubt it'll get under 60 degrees. Spoiler alert, I'm going to Texas. I don't think I announced that yet. I'll announce that in another video. Anyway.
Let us proceed with the first song.
I had this moment the other night where I was up north with some friends and there was a lot of snow on the ground, but it was so cold that it all froze over and we could walk on top of all the snow because it was just a layer of ice. It was 1 degree outside, 1 degree, and we were walking and we went on this beautiful walk. It was around midnight, and the moon was shining down on the snow, and it was just beautiful. You had to be there. I love Maine so much. That was Aurora by Declan DP, courtesy of YouTube Music Library. Alright, let's get into the video, why we're actually here. Alright, happy Friday, as I said, the first Friday in March. Now, today we're going to be talking about something, and I think you guys can probably guess what that something may be. And that's Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm calling it Pokemon Legends Z. I don't care. I've wanted a Pokemon Z for so long, I'm going to keep calling it Pokemon Z. Sue me. Now, whoever made this image, I want to thank you because I couldn't get any other image to work. So, thank you to the guy or girl or whoever made this image. Now, the Pokemon Company gave us the one thing nobody was expecting at all. Nobody. They trolled us. They gave us Legends Z. It was going to be Legends game. People thought it was going to be Legends Celebi, Legends Kyurem. Nobody thought it was going to be Legends Z. They trolled us. And you can't tell me that the Pokemon Company did not know deliberately what they were doing. I think that they saw all of us on social media, everyone talking about how we want Gen 2, we want Gen 5. They knew that. And because of that, they played with us. And it is so funny. I mean, look at their posts on X, where they were posting the legends from Gen 2. They're posting the legends from Gen 5. They're posting Gen 2 music. They were hyping us up. They were leading us up to believe. The Pokemon Company was leading us up to believe that what we were going to get was Gen 2. What we were going to get was Gen 5. But they were just trolling us. And they trolled us to the very, very end. I'm going to show some screen grabs here from the Pokemon Presents, just to prove that they were even further just trolling us. So let me pull this up. I think it's so funny, by the way. I really think that it is so funny, and I was laughing so hard. So hard. All right. I'm going to show some screen gaps here. As you can see, well, don't look at the YouTube part, but we'll go over here. So look at this screen cap right here, okay? Very first, seconds of Pokemon Presents, we have the Unknown come in, right? Unknown, Gen 2. Everyone started going, Gen 2, Gen 2, Gen 2. The Unknown are here. The Unknown are here. And then a little further into the Pokemon Presents, they announce Silver. Where is it? Right here. Look, they announced Silver for Pokemon Masters EX, right? They're playing even further into Gold and Silver remakes. Only to give us Legend Z, which I think was so funny. I think it is so funny that they toyed with us until the very, very end. That you cannot tell me they didn't deliberately use the Unknown and they didn't deliberately release Silver during this Pokemon Presents. I think that is so funny, and I laughed so hard. Now again, I'm calling it Pokemon Legend Z because I don't want to call it Legend ZA because I've always wanted a Pokemon Z. Now we're going to discuss Pokemon Legends Z. And there are a lot of things to discuss. Obviously, we didn't get any... Oh, let me bring back the image. Obviously, we didn't get any gameplay, which I'm kind of upset about, but it's okay. We don't know much about the game. Now, I want to get some rumors out of the way here. Or just... People are upset online that Legends Z is not coming out until 2025. People are mad. Why aren't we getting a Pokemon game this year? This is ridiculous. Now, I'm rebutting that. Alright? To all the people out there that are complaining that we're not getting a new game this year, don't complain, alright? We never used to get Pokemon games every single year. There used to be multiple years between when new games came out. And maybe, now that they're taking more time between, maybe since it's a longer time, it means the game's going to be a better quality because they're not rushing it out. Now, here's my time frame, my estimated time frame look at how Pokemon Legends Z is going to come out. And Prestigious PG in chat, I see what you just said, and that is a good point. We don't know. Maybe they will release games later this year. I saw someone online thinking that they're going to release another Scarlet and Violet DLC where you go to Kalos. I doubt that. I really don't think. I think they're done with Scarlet and Violet. I wouldn't expect that. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Here is my estimated timeline of what I think is going to happen. Right? So usually we get a new Pokemon game in November, right? We know this isn't coming until 2025, so that's not going to be in November. Now, people are speculating that this is going to be for the Switch 2. I do not think that it is going to be for the Switch 2. I really do not think it's for the Switch 2. If anything, I think it might be able to be ported to the Switch 2, but I do not think it's going to be released as a Switch 2 title. I do not think that the Switch 2 is going to be out by the time that Legends Z is out. Now, why do I say this? Pokemon Legends Arceus was not released in November like most mainstream games. It was released in January. So Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl was released in November, and then a few months later in January, Legends Arceus was released. I think Legend Z is going to be released in January. And then I think and I think that they're doing that on a reason, because I think that the first game that they are going to put on the Switch 2, if there even is a Switch 2, I think we've learned more than ever that we can't trust rumors. I think whatever the next mainstream game is, or remake is, that's going to be on the Switch 2. And I think that Legend Z is being made as a placeholder or something to give us while they make whatever the next main game is, whether it's a Gen 2 remake, a Gen 5 remake, or Gen 10 or whatever. I think they are just giving us Legend Z as a placeholder, because the Legends game is not going to take as much time to make as a mainstream game. It's just like how Legends Arceus was sort of made as a trial run for Scarlet and Violet. I think Legend Z is going to be made as a trial. I think it's going to be made as a placeholder game. It's like the Orange Islands in the anime, right? It's like the Orange Islands. They were put there as a placeholder because Gold and Silver wasn't out yet. I think that Legend Z is just being used as a placeholder. And I think whatever the next mainstream game is, I think will come out in November of 2025. So I think this is coming out in January of 2025. And I think whatever the next main series game is coming out, I think that's going to be in November of 2025. And I think that'll be on the Switch 2. Even if there is a Switch 2, alright? I'm not going to believe that there's a Switch 2 until it is announced. Until I have a credible source that is telling me that there is a Switch 2. IGN did a report. IGN is a credible source that the Switch 2 wouldn't be released in 2024, and they speculated that it'll be out in 2025. Once we get more information about whether or not a Switch 2 is a real thing, then I will start wondering. But again, I'm calling it here. Legend Z is going to be in January, and the next mainstream game is going to be in November of 2025. Alright? And another reason why I don't think that they will put a game directly on the Switch 2 is that the Pokemon Company is very careful on what they put their games on. They're very, very careful because they want them to be successful. When Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 came out, the 3DS had been out for about a year or so, but they did not release it on the 3DS. They released Black 2 and White 2 as a DS console release. Because the 3DS, I don't think, was out for long enough yet. They wanted to make sure that they would get the game, that they would be able to sell the game. So they made Black 2, White 2 on DS, and then once the 3DS was out for a while, they then made Pokemon X and Y. And we all know how the 3D ended up on X and Y. Now, moving along from that and talking about talking about the game itself. All we can do is speculate. All we can do is speculate because we literally know nothing. We literally know absolutely nothing about this game. They didn't release any gameplay. They didn't really release any story. I've heard people say that they think that the entire game is going to take place in Lumiose City and you can't leave. I don't think that's true. I think that this game is going to be exactly like Legends Arceus, and I think that the main city is going to be Lumiose City, and you have to travel to the different areas and catch the Pokemon and do whatever story events. I think it's going to be exactly the same, just in Kalos. But I do think, however, I think in this game, sort of like how you could kind of build Jubilife in Arceus, I think you will be able to build Legend. I think you'll be able to build Lumiose City. I think that is going to be a key part of the game, is actually building the city and gathering the resources to build the city. I think that is something that will happen. Now, as for something that I was thinking about earlier, the thing that I think brought the draw on for Legends Arceus was that the title Pokemon was Arceus, the mythical Pokemon that you could not catch in any other game. The only way you get Arceus was through events, right? You could not catch it. In Legends Arceus, you could catch Arceus. And I think that was sort of a draw to the game. Now we can catch this Pokemon that we could never catch before. Zygarde you can catch. You can catch Zygarde in a bunch of games. And they've already played with different Zygarde forms and different Zygarde abilities. So I think it's kind of interesting that they focused on Zygarde. I personally think that it should have been Pokemon's Legends G. And the title Pokemon should have been Ash Greninja. Ash Greninja is the coolest thing that the Pokemon Company has ever done. Obviously, in the game, it wouldn't be Ash Greninja. It would be your character Greninja, but it would still look like Ash Greninja. Ash Greninja is the coolest thing that the Pokemon Company has ever done, and they slept on it. They are sleeping on it. The only way you can get Ash Greninja in the games is it's either for the Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. One of those games, if you played the demo that was on the eShop, It gave you Ash Greninja in game, and you got like a letter from Ash that said, "Please take care of my Greninja." Ash Greninja is the coolest thing that's ever happened, ever in Pokemon history, and they are sleeping on it. They do not use it. It has gone away. They didn't bring it back in Journeys. I'm just saying, it'd be really cool to see Ash Greninja in Pokemon Legends, or in Pokemon Legends Zygarde. Just saying. Now, Prestigious PG, I know you're in chat. You made a video the other day, and you mentioned something about maybe AZ being in the game. I think AZ will be in the game. AZ is over 3,000 years old, so I think AZ will definitely be in the game in some capacity. I think that Pokemon Legend Z is going to take place in AZ's past when the first Ultimate Weapon was being made and the war happened and the world got destroyed. It's either going to take place during or right after, and that's why you're building Lumiose City. In X and Y, they talk about, Team Flare is building the Ultimate Weapon, and AZ talks about the past and what happened with the Ultimate Weapon in the past. And I think this is either going to happen in this game, or it's going to happen, or the events happen before this game. And I'm just looking at it more. ZA, AZ. AZ is definitely going to be in this game. Are you kidding me? Pokemon Legends ZA. Why would it be ZA, right? Pokemon Legends Z for Zygarde. Why ZA? Because AZ is going to be in the game. It's in the freaking title. And even the A, it kind of looks like his pants. Like the design on his pants. Doug, it was right there. It's literally right there in front of us. I don't know why it just hit me. You might have mentioned this when in your video, Prestigious PG, I can't remember, but I don't know why it did not hit me before. I was wondering why it was ZA, ZA, ZA. It's AZ. As in AZ. It's Pokemon Legends AZ. Wow. It makes so much sense. Pokemon Legends AZ. It is AZ, not ZA. It's not ZA. It's AZ. We were just looking at the Z because of how much it stands out. But if you look at the A is directly next to the logo, and the Z goes through it. It's Pokemon Legends AZ, not Pokemon Legends ZA. It makes so much sense now. Man, I never thought of that before. I'm literally like having an epiphany in the middle of this stream. I am calling it here first that it is Pokemon Legends AZ on March 1st, 2024 at 10:17 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am calling it that it is Pokemon Legends AZ and not Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm calling it. I am calling it. Right here, right now. Man. Yeah. Feel pretty good about myself right now. It is Pokemon Legends AZ and not Pokemon Legends ZA. I need to make an X post. I don't post much, but sorry, I'm making my X post here. Alright, I might be totally wrong, and I just feel like I'm in in the moment, but it is definitely Pokemon Legends AZ and not Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm calling it. I am going to run with that until the end. Until I am proven wrong, it is Pokemon Legends AZ. Whew. Okay. Man, I'm feeling pretty good. Let me read these comments now. Let me catch up on what you guys are saying. I do remember Mystery Dungeon or outsourced. Let's Go Johto. What do I think about the TCG trading card app? I think it's cool. I'm interested to see how it plays out. How do you get packs online? Do you have to spend $5.99, $6 on the app to get a pack? Or do you get a code that comes in with your pack of Pokemon cards? You know how you get the code in the pack of Pokemon cards for the online game? I wonder if there's going to be a code in the pack that you put into the app which gives you a pack. Or if you have to, in the game, you have to buy packs online. I'm hoping you don't buy packs online. I'm hoping that you get a code in a pack of Pokemon cards. I feel like that makes the most sense because then you have people going out and buying more Pokemon cards. Unless they're trying to go for a more environmentally friendly thing and move away from trading cards and use digital cards. I don't know. I do think it's kind of cool though. Prestige PG says that I do think it'll be for the Switch 2 just because it would look better on next-gen hardware, but that's just my opinion. I think it would look better on next-gen hardware, but the question is, if this is going to be released in January of 2025, like I don't think the Switch 2 will be out yet. That's the first month of January. I don't think that the Switch 2 will be released. The first month of 2025. I don't think the Switch 2 would be released in January, but I could be wrong. When did the Switch come out? The Switch came out in the winter, right? The Switch came out on March 3rd, 2017. So I think the January would be a little early for it. But who knows? Maybe. Again, all we can do is speculate. I also was wondering, do you think they should have done Legends Kanto instead of Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee? No, I do not. I think that Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was a nice little 20-year... It was released right around the 20 years of Pokemon. I think it was a nice little way of celebrating 20 years going back to Kanto. I wonder if there will be connections to Area Zero in Paldea. I don't know. I've never heard the theory that the ultimate weapon created in Area Zero in Paldea. It could have been. I don't know. I truly think that Scarlet and Violet is done. I mean, that's why they released the epilogue. I mean, I suppose that they could... But I feel like they'd be pushing the capabilities of what the game can actually handle. I think if they released another DLC, it would be like more than the game itself could handle. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll do some sort of like special event. Like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. But I think that Scarlet and Violet is done. But if we have another year of... Until, Legends AZ, they might do something else in Scarlet Violet. I don't know. I don't think it would be... I think if they did something else to Scarlet and Violet, I don't think it'd be a DLC. I think it would be like a little quest. But I do not think it would be a DLC-sized event. I don't. Yeah, it is. Everyone did speculate that one area outside Paldea was the Kalos region, and that we would go to Kalos in Scarlet and Violet, and that never did happen. It makes me wonder if they knew that they wanted to go with Legends AZ. I wonder if this wasn't planned. That's what I'm thinking is... Why? This is what I am wondering, right? I am wondering if the reasons that they did Pokemon Legends AZ... I wonder if they weren't planning that, but the reason they did it was because of the Switch 2, because they knew this new hardware was coming out, and they either didn't have enough time to make a game for the new hardware, or they wanted to release something in between now when the new hardware is being made. I wonder if that is why they announced AZ. I wonder if they weren't originally planning to do this game, but then they made it that. And I wonder if that's why we didn't get any gameplay. It's weird that we didn't get any gameplay. I feel like usually we get a little bit of gameplay on Pokemon Day, and we didn't get anything. So I wonder if it was a quick turnaround. If it was if Nintendo was telling them, don't release a new main series game on the Switch because we're working on the Switch 2. Maybe they want whatever the next Pokemon game is. Maybe they want it to be a launch title on the Switch 2, you know? Because I doubt, the launch title for the Switch is Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom just came out. They're not going to release a Zelda game as the launch title for the Switch 2. Maybe they want whatever the Pokemon game is that's going to be the next main series game. Maybe Nintendo came to the Pokemon Company and said, look, we want your game to be the launch title game of the Switch 2. And maybe that's why they're releasing Legends AZ now, so that they can spend a lot of time working on their launch title game for the Switch 2. Because if they are a launch title game for the Switch 2, they're going to want it to be really, really good. Nintendo is going to want it to be something that everyone that's not just in the Pokemon community is going to want to go and buy, because it's going to be a launch title game. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe Nintendo said, hey, Pokemon, we want you to be our launch title game. I could see that being a thing. And I could see a new 3D Mario being... I could see a Pokemon game and a new 3D Mario game being the launch titles for the Switch 2. But that very well could be the reason why we're getting Legends AZ instead of a main series game. I do remember the Pokemon Z rumor for the 3DS. It was like Pokemon Gray version, Pokemon Z version, the games that we never got. Pokemon Green, Pokemon Gray, Pokemon Z. I remember watching the Pokemon TCG World Tournament with my friend, and every time anyone mentioned Z or anything, we would freak out. I think Kieran and Carmine should have been included in the base games, and both Uva and academies would have been rival schools and not in different places in the multiverse. I mean, that's an interesting concept. I think that would have ended up becoming a really, really big game to have both schools in there. And I see what you're saying. I disagree that Kieran and Carmine should have been included in the base games, because I think that would have taken away from the relationship that your character had with the other students, with Arvin and I can't think of anyone else's name off the top of my head. But I think it would have diminished the relationship that Nimona, Arvin, Penny. I think it would have diminished that relationship. I think I really loved the story that played out with the three of them and the main character. That I think adding in Carmine and adding in Kieran that early, I just don't think it would have worked. I think it would have been too much. I think it would have been too much story. That story with you and Arvin is so sweet. Arvin really held the crunch of the story, and I think it was really important that stayed on its own. I think it wouldn't have been as impactful if Carmine and Kieran were there. I think that the reason that everything worked so well and that the dynamic worked so well was that we were bringing in the old crew with the new crew, and I think that was really cool. I don't think that would have carried the same weight if they were all in the game together. So I think that it was... I think that they did it right. I think that they did it perfectly and that they did it right. I don't think that Carmine and Kieran should have been in the game. I respect your opinion, but I don't think that they should have been in the game that early. Now, I feel like I've speculated everything I can speculate on Pokemon Legends AZ. So let me take that down off the boop. Oh, I disabled my preview. There we go. Other news that is not AZ or Pokemon related. Keep an eye out this week. Either this week or next week. Gonna be releasing a new Spider Queen video. Keep an eye out for that. It's not episode 9. Keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for a 2024 business meeting video where we're going to discuss what's going on in 2024. And so, let me pull up a calendar here. We'll be streaming this week. Obviously, I'm here. And I will be streaming next week. And then after that, I will not probably be streaming again until the 22nd of March. Because I'm going to be traveling across the country. Who knows? Maybe I'll make a video of my travels across the country. I used to make... Whenever I went on travels, I used to make video. Remember when I made a video when I went to New York? I went to New York one time, and I made this really, cheesy YouTube video. I'm going to see if I still have it. I'm going to see if I still have it somewhere on my, I used to, whenever I would go anywhere that I thought was, cool or different, I would make videos. I made one at Boston Comic-Con. I made one when I went to New York City. Let's see if I can find it. When was that? When would it have been that I made that video? In 2018? When did I make that video? I'm looking through all of my videos on YouTube. So as many of you probably don't know, I have 450 videos that are all privated on YouTube. Just because I did an entire channel revamp. But if I was to re-release, there'd be so much content on my channel. Surprise package, what? Looking at some of these videos and I'm questioning. Pokemon XYZ? Pokemon Tournament? What's that video? Why am I holding a puppet? Finally got a new computer. No, that's not it. Maybe I deleted the video of when I went to New York. Because I'm getting back to 2015 now, and I think that's a little far away. I don't think I went to New York in 2015. So I don't know if... I don't think that I have it anymore. And now I'm back in 2014. I am definitely past it. Okay. Because it is 2013. I'm back in 2013, so that's okay. Golden Pokemon card. I remember when I bought that. I should make that video public again. Who is Ash Ketchum's father? I got 2,454 views on that video. I used to do a lot of Pokemon theory videos. Yeah, I must have gotten rid of that video. That's kind of disappointing. I definitely got rid of it. I don't know why I would have. Hoopa thing? What's Hoopa thing? Oh, it's when I went to McDonald's. I got the Hoopa. I don't even have the Boston Comic-Con video on here anymore. Oh well. Can't win them all, can you? Is there still going to be a Spider-Queen movie? You'll see. You'll see. Everything's going to be talked about in this video that's coming out, hopefully within the next 2 weeks. So, keep an eye out for the 2024 Iceberg City Production business meeting where we're going to talk some business. And I will go into it there. And You'll have to see. You'll just have to wait and see. The best things come to those who wait, right? And this is the first time I'm gonna end a video that's like not over an hour. Usually I have enough content to go for an hour, but I don't. Sure. Sure. Let's see. There's gotta be something else we can do. Man, I thought my Legends AZ talk was gonna go a lot longer than it did, but it didn't. So, let us see. Let us see. When you are, oh my, have any of you seen the Batman? Not the movie The Batman, but the cartoon The Batman. Da-da-dun. I think it was released in like 2004. It's really good. It was released in 2004, and it only had 5 seasons, and I think each season only had 13 episodes to it. But it's fun. It's a good I really enjoy it. So I hope that just a suggestion. I remember I used to read the comics of it, and then I found out that there was the cartoon, and I watched a little bit of the cartoon when I was younger, but it's fun. So I would definitely suggest watching The Batman. It's on Netflix right now. The Batman. Da-da-dun. Let's see who's in The Batman. BTVA The Batman. Let's see. I don't know the guy that plays Batman. I've never heard him in anything else, I don't think. But Danielle Judovitz is in it, and she's Tenten in Naruto. She plays Batgirl. Tom Kenny, who plays SpongeBob, he plays Penguin. Clancy Brown, who plays Mr. Krabs, plays Mr. Freeze. There are a bunch of famous actors in this. Dan Castellaneta, I probably pronounced his name wrong, who plays Scarface. He also plays Homer Simpson. That's very interesting. I didn't know that. Hold on.
The costume worn on stage by the first ever
Frank Gorshin
Imagine
plays Hugo Strange. That's really interesting because Frank Gorshin played the Riddler in the 1966 Batman TV series. That's interesting that they brought him to play Hugo Strange. Adam West is also in this. He plays the mayor of Gotham City. Mayor Grange. Patrick Warburton, who plays Joe in Family Guy, plays Cash Tankinson. Mark Hamill plays Tony Zuko. So it's kind of cool. I enjoyed it. It's a good watch. It brought me back to when I watched it when I was younger. I definitely suggest it. The Batman. Dun-dun-dun. Anyway, I'm going to end the stream because I'm going to end the stream. I'll see you guys next week. Everyone take it easy, and I will see you later. Later, Gator.